instead of looking at how much your setback is kind of slowing you down, focus
Mm-hmm.
on those small progressions that you can do within that setback. So for me,
Right.
like the first time was like, oh, I can stand on my leg. Second was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can move around the flat. Third one was, oh, I can walk more than just around my flat. Next one
Mm.
was, oh, I can put some weight on it where I can slightly run. And it's like just focusing on that and also accepting that. And I think that can be a challenge for a lot of the people, me including. Not everything is supposed to happen on your timeline.
So true. So
Yeah.
true. You know,
Yep.
the other thing I was thinking of that you could share is, so here you are, you're active, you're playing basketball, you want to do a marathon or whatever, and all of a sudden you hurt your ankle and you can't even really walk.
Yep.
And
I
so
was
now
in.
what do you do?
It was an interesting place to be because also, like for me, big part of my life is exercise. So it's not
Yeah.
even the
Yeah.
basketball or the running in general, but like exercise in general.
Correct.
It's a big part
I
of my
can
lifestyle,
relate.
and also identity. I think, and also
Mm.
like how you like moving your body helps with like emotions and
Right.
feel good and all
Yep.
this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Um, so what I did is, so during that, there was like at the day when I injured it, I instantly knew it's bad because I had something similar with my other ankle. So I
Mm.
instantly knew it's bad, and even like when I got home, I cried about it. I was like, okay, we're just gonna let it out. We're just gonna go through this little grief,
You're allowed.
because
Absolutely.
it also was like I was so excited to play again. Like we literally,
Yeah.
like I got injured on Tuesday. We had first game on Sunday, and I was like, I have been like training with that team for like I
Yeah.
think almost like 2 months, and I was like, like I've been so waiting for it, and now like this first part of the year, I was completely out. Like I couldn't go to the first game, I couldn't walk yet, so I didn't even see it. I went to the next like 2 games, but I think the way I dealt with it was, first of all, I allowed myself to feel crappy about it. And I'm like, okay, let's just let those emotions out. There's no point suppressing them or like pretending I'm okay, because like I wasn't
Yeah.
okay. I'm like, I'm not happy that I can't play. I can't train. Um,
Yeah.
and then like for a week I was literally just glued to sofa. But while I was like, okay, this is my chance because I can't train, I can't do anything. I'm just gonna do a bit more work for this week. Um, so that's kind of what I did, because I was like, okay, maybe this is my chance to focus a bit more on like work stuff. And the good timing was also like once I was able to walk, I went back home and I got sick for a month,
You
like
got really
proper,
sick.
yeah. Where I was pretty
Yeah.
much like again glued to sofa
Yep.
for the whole day. The only time that I would move, I would like just go for like 2 walks, for
Hmm.
75 part. But even those, like it was so hard to get myself to do them. It took like so much energy out of me that I had to nap for like 2 hours after each of them at least.
Oh.
um,
God.
I lost my voice, like, and so like that is adding up on top of that injury. So
Right.
that's like at least I think at this point it has been like 2 months that I haven't been able to like. I went to gym today and I'm like, yeah, I'm like slowly getting, but I know how, like even when I would be on a like bike, I'm like, this is, I'm so, even like when I would go on like run, usually the run should be like, when it comes to zones, like zone 2 or 3, I was in zone 4, which is like one zone away from you sprinting. Your heart rate is like way too high. And I'm like, and I'm barely running. It's not even me running fast.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like it's dealing with setbacks and also being because I am aware of those 2 months. Not only I didn't move forward, I moved backwards. Because like
Yeah.
for 2 months, I pretty much was just walking. That was the only exercise that
Hmm.
I did. And it's also because I have really tight timeline. I have half or full Ironman in 9 months. So in those 9 months, I have to prepare for the whole thing while doing everything else that I want to do. And basketball, where I'm like, the timeline actually is really tight. Like it's not
Yeah.
like
There's
I
not a
can
lot of
now,
wiggle
I can
room.
be like, oh, I need to recover and then
Yeah.
I can rest or whatever. It's like it needs to happen fast, but also I can't
Yeah.
rush it. If I rush it, I can get injured again, and then I have to go through the whole thing again. So it's,
Mm-hmm.
I think the big part of the, because setbacks, they're inevitable, they will always happen, but
Yeah.
it's also about the mindset of, even like with this setback, is it like be all end all? It's like, not really. Like, even if, let's say, by the time that it's end of August when I want to do the Ironman, if I probably will attempt to do it anyway. But let's say if I'm physically not there, or I don't finish it for like whatever reason, or let's say as during the race the injury comes back or something happens, will it be a failure? Will it be, or let's say if now, even better, let's say 1 month before the race I get the injury where I know like I'm out, and I have been training like 8 months, like
Hard
really
for it.
like,
Yeah.
and I know that I'm out, and it probably will be another year until I can race that race, because like it's happening only like once a year. And it's like, will I be happy about it? No. Is that the end of the world? No, because I probably will be in best shape I've ever been
Yeah.
anyways by that time.
Prepared for the next race for sure. Going
Yeah,
into it much more
and I will
prepared.
also have much better perspective of what it takes to prepare for it, even if I would get to
Right.
the start line in that scenario. So there's like
Mm-hmm.
many scenarios that can happen, but it's like if I now sit and I kind of ponder on all of them too much, it might get in my way where I end up doing nothing. And I'm like, well, what's the
Mm-hmm.
point anyways? I'm gonna get injured 1 month before. It's like, well, so I think it's being mindful about the fact that you will have setbacks, and not everything gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen your timeline. Like my marathon, I was supposed to run it in December. Now, if I will run it, it will be in May, which is like 6 months later. Do I feel like I'm a failure because of it? No, it's like it just didn't happen in my timeline, or things
Right.
didn't align. But also with this example, it is something that is changeable, or I will have another chance. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't have another chance, then it's a bit different how you deal with it. But even then, it's like, as long as you tried, like, I don't see how you're
Right.
losing.
Right. Exactly. I know. And I love that where you said that, give yourself time to grieve and give yourself time to be upset about it and feel those
Yeah,
feelings. I
as
mean,
I'm
it's,
still like yesterday in the game, I'm like, oh, and I
yeah,
see how they need specifically my position and what I
of
can do
course.
for the team, and I'm just sitting there being like, there's
I
nothing that I can
can't.
do.
I
And I even like
can't.
tell them something that they could do, and then they go on the court and they don't do that, and I'm like, I need to get back. And then I get back home and I'm like, okay, I need to create like program. I need to get back. I need to fix my ankle. And then the next day comes when I go to the gym, or I even like as I walk around, I still feel it, and I'm like, maybe I
Maybe
we'll
not.
see. We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
get in there.
yeah.